In the last episode, the Toque competitors battled it out at the heats, and the judges selected this year's grand finalists. Now, the competition moves into learning mode, and the competitors need to understand the importance of sustainable farming, a subject that Nestlé is keen to help the finalists understand.
Sustainability has always been important to Nestlé, because one of the things that we've talked about for many years is this concept of creating shared value. And that basically, in essence, it means that we're here to create value for our shareholders. We're a company at the end of the day, but at the same time, we can create value for society. I think for these competitors, it's really important to just learn more about food and sustainability around food. It means that they can be more sustainable when they go about producing the food that they're creating. Even just thinking about it more, I think, is going to be really important.
With this in mind, the finalists head out to their first port of call, Loddington Farm in Kent, run by James Smith.
Well, I'm a fifth generation fruit grower, but more recently I'm a fruit grower who is a big advocate for regenerative farming and for bringing nature back into our farming systems and then demonstrating how that can benefit all of us. I think for these guys to come out and see and learn about soil health and then the quality of the food that flows from that is really important, and it should be for their careers to go forward.
From every one of these visits, the finalists will not only get a clear understanding of the sustainability of the products they will be seeing, but the products will also play an important part in their final fine dining challenge menu later in the week.
Well, they have first-hand cut some asparagus on the farm, and there's going to be asparagus served at the dinner. Understanding how it's grown, how it's harvested, and then all sorts of exciting things you can do with it would be the third thing, and we should see that at a fine dining event.
While the chef competitors will be using asparagus, waiters will be putting fruit juice to good use in a cocktail for the event. Understanding ingredient provenance is certainly a useful skill to impart to guests.
We know exactly where they've come from, the location, how they've been growing. We can give them the whole backstory, and I think that's really, really important to deliver a fantastic event.
Next stop is English wine producer Bolney Wine Estate, overseen by head winemaker and managing director Sam Linter.
We make English red, still, white and rosé, still and sparkling wines, and we're really, really proud of those. But we started off as a still wine producer back in the 70s. What we want to achieve here at Bolney is to do the whole big circle of what sustainability actually is. You can enjoy a glass of wine that grew in that vineyard there and was made in that winery over there, and that's just very special, and that whole circle of that happening here on site is really important to us. So one thing I think I would love to see the competitors taking away from this visit is to have inspiration, having been walking through an English vineyard and seeing what we can do here, and going away with a passion for wine and how it's made and being able to share that further.
Asparagus, fruit juice, wine, now for the main course, pork. And the competitors head to Dingley Dell Farm based in Suffolk and run by third-generation farmer Mark Hayward.
Dingley Dell, it's all about animal welfare, sustainability and taste. From a taste perspective, we have our own individual breed, the Suffolk Red. What we've been trying to do is we've been trying to come up with a system where we are commercially farming, but in a way that's inclusive to nature. So hugely important for us as individuals, but also I believe hugely important that we as a society, we start thinking about how we farm and how it impacts the environment. Come on in, come on in.
And this is certainly an opportunity to get close and personal.
Part of the dining experience is going to be saying to people what it is, where it came from, how it was produced, because I think that whole thing, it inspires us just to slow down the speed at which we eat, to think about what we're eating. They're going to have some great knowledge and they're going to impart it on their fine dining challenge.
So, what have the Toque finalists taken away from their farm and wine estate visits?
I've learned about regeneration farming and how to taste wine, and as a chef I think that is important because you know what the front of house is serving as well. So I just get the aspects of both front of house and back of house, which is really interesting.
I think it's just like you're able to show your ingredients a lot more respect, especially the quality of produce we will be using. I think it makes it more personal as well, because you feel like you have to do it justice.
The people we've met who run the farm and stuff aren't all about money, they're about using this, ingredients to the maximum and produce them as sustainability and not using it for mass and money-wise. That's probably the best thing for me.
There's been so many highlights. Definitely got to be the Bolney wine estate though. I say it's incredible, all the different types of wines that they have. We found out recently that they got a new sparkling red wine as well. Blows my head off every single time I hear about it.
Next time, the Toque finalists take on a whistle-stop tour through Borough Market in London. And finally, the day arrives to create the very best fine dining event for Nestlé Professional and their guests. But will it be plain sailing? This is no ordinary competition.